Good evening. A couple of videos back, we talked about the email that Dr. Dewi sent to the National Crime Agency, in which he said that he'd read about the police involvement at Chester Hospital. So we need the date of that email. If that email is dated on the 17th or 16th, any date prior to the 18th, then he's lying that he read about it. He's lying because it wasn't published by the press until the 18th. So then it needs to be asked of him, or demanded of him, where did he, quote unquote, read about it? Where did he read about it? Dr. Evans, where did you read about it when you wrote this email? You said to Nick, not his real name, at the National Crime Agency. You wrote that email, didn't you? I got the date here, it says the 16th, but there wasn't a report out that there was any police involvement there. No one had said anything. The police had been investigating since, well, we're here now since the 27th of April, but there was no public report of it, no press report of it. So, Mr. Evans, if you've written this email before the 18th, how did you know about it? How did you're telling us you read about it. Well, you're not telling us, you're telling the National Crime Agency you read about it. Where did you read about it if it wasn't published? Well, I've written emails to Benjamin Myers, KC, the defence KC of Lucy Letby, and Stephen Thomas, I think that was his name. Well, I know his name, but I've got it on the email anyway. Who's the solicitor? I'll look it up now. Let's do it properly. Let's get me old emails up here. Look, it's just I can't remember all the names all the time, you know. Anywho, so we're looking here now. I've been sending a lot of emails. Yeah, Benjamin Myers. Ben Myers. He goes by Ben Myers. So I've asked him. Somebody said on Twitter that he won't answer. Yeah, you're probably right. Richard Thomas of Russell and Russell. And that's the solicitors that Lucy Letby hired. They're the same solicitors that help with the conveyance or the buying of her home, of her house. And that was the solicitors, because as an innocent person, which she is, she's not going to think, well, I need a top class, I need the best solicitor I can get. I'll just go to one that I know, that I've met before, someone who can help me buy a house. But now I'm being eventually charged with murder, mass murder of 8 babies, and you know, and so she goes to this solicitor around the corner that helped her with her house, because she's innocent, because she's not looking to get the best defence, because she doesn't need it. Well, she did need it, but she didn't get it. She deserved it, but she didn't get it. Anyway, I've sent emails to Myers and this guy, Richard Thomas, at Russell and Russell. So, are they going to write back? No, they're not going to write back, are they? So it's just, I just put this tweet out. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. With this other piece of information, I'm going to tell you now. I discussed it with a couple of people. Somebody sent me a private message on Twitter about a public document that they'd found, or at least it's publicly available on the internet. And what that document is And there was another. I'd only saw afterwards. I'm getting so many tweets. Usually I used to get none. Like notifications. But there's another. There's a Twitter user, or X, whatever, called Neil Ross, and he'd put down what I'm going to tell you as well. But first of all, I got this message from somebody who wanted to remain anonymous, and I won't say any more about that. But what they did was said, "Oh, here's a document. Here's a document from 2017, from May the 12th. May the 12th, 2017. So what does that date mean? Well, it's after the police investigation begins, but it's before the newspapers report on the 18th that there is a police investigation." And what is this event? This event is the Welsh Paediatric Society's spring clinical meeting. They have one in the autumn, one in the spring. I don't know if they do summer and winter. I think they do a few a year. It's a Welsh Paediatric Society. It's a thing. I rang them today. I made a phone call of the call I had. I mean a recording of the phone call. So the 12th of May that happens. The Welsh Paediatric Society have a meeting on the 12th of May. Can you guess where they have it? Can you guess where they have it? They have it in Chester, in a hotel in Chester. And guess who's there giving presentations? Well, it's Dr. Gibbs and Dr. Jayaram on the 12th. Now, Dr. Evans clearly, obviously, was a member of the Welsh Paediatric Society for many years. Now, whether that membership lapsed or he became an honorary member, hard to say that, honorary member, when he retired, but he'd keep his hand in, wouldn't he? Want to know what's going on in the paediatric world, Dr. Evans would want to know, keep his fingers on the pulse. He's an ambitious man, he's a political man. He ran for Plaid Cymru, trying to get elected in a major position. Didn't. Was a councillor as well, Carmarthen. But he's got ambition. Anyway, he's got his finger on the pulse, and he wants. The big question is, was he there? Was he there? Did he attend? Did he attend on the 12th of May? Which again is 15 days after the police have an interview with Jayaram and Breary in Chester. And this conference thing, this clinical meeting of the Welsh Paediatric Society is in Chester. And Dr. Gibbs of Chester Hospital, one of the Gang of Four, and Jayaram, one of the Gang of Four, giving presentations there. And when they're giving those presentations, they know there's a police investigation going on at Chester Hospital, but they're not going to be talking about that in the meeting. But maybe people stay on afterwards, and maybe there's people in the audience as well, isn't there? They're not giving presentations to nobody. There's people who come. Well, who might come? Who would be interested in that kind of meeting? The Welsh Paediatric Society meeting. Dewi Evans might be interested, might be there. We need somebody to come forward to tell us he was there. I tried 3 different emails, they all bounced back from the Welsh Paediatric Society, the RCPCH and the NHS, all bouncing back, couldn't be delivered, asking that question. Because how else are we going to find out? You can be overly subtle on them. I mean, we're not going to find out if we don't ask. Eventually, I ring someone, the events manager, the events manager of the Welsh Paediatric Society, and I just ask, do you mind telling me? I mean, I could play the recording. Do you mind? Well, I'll play the recording. Let me find it. I recorded it, and she got very she got a bit nervous when. Let me pause this a moment. I'll find the recording. I found the recording now. So this is the call I had when I rang up the Welsh Paediatric Society. I'm going to stick it on now, so hopefully you'll hear it. It's not right from the beginning, but come on, computer. It's not bloody working. Oh, here we go. I heard it made a... Here we go. That's something that you could help me with, who the attendees were?
I won't be able to supply that information due to GDPR.
Oh, is that's the data protection, is it?
Yeah, sorry, who are you?
Yeah, would you be able to confirm whether Dr. Dewi Evans attended the meeting or not?
Yeah, I don't know who you are though, and I don't know why you're asking that information.
Yeah, I'm just interested to know whether he was in Chester on that particular day, whether he attended the meeting.
I can't provide that due to data protection.
Oh, I see. So there's no list, there's no public list made of it or anything.
No.
Oh, I see.
It wouldn't be.
Could you confirm whether he does attend those meetings generally? I keep trying.
I can't confirm any information around that.
Could you confirm whether he's still part of the Welsh Paediatric Society, please?
I can't confirm any of that information because that's to do with data protection.
Oh, you can't even say whether he is part of the society or not.
Sorry, who am I speaking to?
Oh, well, I'm just researching something at the moment, so sort of a private researcher really about it, just in terms of who was attending that meeting on that day.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to provide that information.
Is there a public list of the members of the Welsh Paediatric Society?
No.
It isn't. Is it like a secret list in a sense then, or private list?
Yeah,
sorry.
You just join as a member, and that's it. We don't publicise who's a member and who's not.
And is there any way to find out who is a member or who isn't for the ordinary person?
No.
Okay, so there's literally nothing you could tell me in respect of Dr. Dewi Evans.
No, I wouldn't be able to share that because it's to do with data protection.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, thanks for your help then. Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers.
That's okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. That's that. That's as far as you get. Don't know if you noticed a bit of a... I think there was something there when she heard that name. It's not... it's not your everyday name. Really, she's aware that what's... anything to do with... is kryptonite, isn't it, really? Evans, who's now looking into... 257 potential attacks and murders. He stepped it up. There was an article where he says, well, there might be at least 257. You're going to pin on Lucy. He's insane. Well, he's not insane. He's evil. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the play by Arthur Miller, The Crucible. The real firebrand, the real... the person that's the most keen on finding witches, wherever they might be, is Judge Danforth. That's what old Evans is, Danforth on acid. So anyway, that's what we need to find out. Was he there? If he was there, and he wrote the email, I know these are all, is anyone going to give us this information? Is it out there? I thought a few people I discussed it with on Twitter in a private message said, we'll keep it under our hat. Well, nobody's going to know then. Nobody's going to know. I mean, I understood, I had that same reaction as well. I understand it. Nobody's going to know we're looking for it. No one's going to approach us and say, I kind of psychically know you want to know whether Dewi was there or not. They don't know the import of it. They don't know what it means to us in relation to him coming across Jairam and Gibbs. Before he's jumped in, before he's part of the police investigation, Dewi Evans, on the 12th. And so he's primed. Or is he primed? Did they talk to him? Did they say, we've got this, the management, we need you, Dewi. We need somebody on this. We're going to get the police the police are already involved. Don't tell anybody because it's not been reported yet, Dewi. But, ring up the NCA and get yourself on this case because we need an expert to help the police to back us up. Is that what they said? Something like that. Maybe not as unsubtle as that, but... Or you might have known through an intermediary, through at one remove. If he's written that email to the National Crime Agency before the 18th, and we can place him on the 12th, going to that Welsh Paediatric Society meeting in that hotel in Chester, of all places, he's got some serious explaining to do. Because he's got to explain how he knew about it, how he'd read about it, which he obviously hadn't read about it, he'd been told about it. But I know it's speculation at the moment, but you can see where this is going. But if we don't put this out there, no one's going to contact us. No one's going to contact anyone and tell us, yes, he was there. No one's going to contact us who dare not speak, they can... I'll put anything out there that feels genuine, that feels right, anything at all. Anything that feels genuine. Someone's got to contact us. If the solicitor that worked for Lucy Letby isn't going to let us know the date of that email, if Ben Myers isn't going to let us know the date of that email, did it come up in court? I don't know. We don't have the full transcript. If they're not going to let us know that date, someone else has got to let us know that date. I emailed the National Crime Agency, and I might have said this before, they're not duty bound to answer FOI requests. They're outside of it because of the nature of their business, So where does that leave us? It leaves us with some maverick, with some... And if, as the solicitor chap on Twitter goes, no, they won't contact you. They won't answer you at all. I'm talking about Myers and Richard Thomas, the solicitor. And he's right. They won't, will they? They won't. Why won't they? I don't know. That's another rabbit hole, isn't it? Why wouldn't they? Well, either they wouldn't, because it's the three things. I listed them in the other video about the date. It's the three things. Either it's not an issue that they can discount it. In other words, the date on that email is the 18th, and at the right time on the 18th, i.e. after the reports came out in the press. Or it's the 19th, the 20th. But it's not the 17th or the 16th or the 15th or whatever. But did Dr. Dewi Evans have a little chat at the bar with a Scotch egg and a pint of Brains beer or whatever, whatever they have up there? That's Welsh. It's a Welsh pint, isn't it? Brains, I say. And you go, oh, what's going on there? What's going on? The old, you've heard some terrible things, but... And they go, oh, yes, Brary's not there, Gibbs is there, and Jairam's go, oh, yes, of course, yes, oh, we've got in a terrible state, don't say anything to anybody, but the police are involved, but didn't hear it from me. Dewi, you didn't hear it from me, but the police are involved. So... we need an expert on. The police are looking for an expert on this case, and I think you're the right man for the job, Dewi. So why don't you get in there quickly, and why don't you send an email to the, what would it be? National Crime Agency, something like that. Oh yes, they know me very well down there. I've been in many cases down there. Well, that's great, Dewey. Just do that. Get on the case because, well, I know you're a good man. You're a good man, Dewey. You're a safe pair of hands. Get on the case there. You can join the case, and then you'll know all about it. Just tell them you've read about it somewhere. Just tell them in your email to the National Crime Agency that you've read about this case. And then that's what Dewey does. But he makes a mistake. Maybe. I'm not saying it has happened. But maybe he's made a mistake and he's sent that email before anyone's reported police involvement. So we need these two things verified from somebody. We need it. We need it for Lucy and her family and her friends. The point of this is to blow Evans out of the water, to show that he's not an independent anything, that he's tarnished. He's tarnished and he stinks right from the beginning. Well, we know he stinks anyway, but he's tarnished right from the beginning. He's partial right from the beginning because he knows he's been told things. And he's contacted the National Crime Agency a few days before he should have done because he didn't read about it. We need this information on these two sides. Was he at the hotel? And was he? And what was the date of the email? They're very simple, really. But if we can't get them and if we can't prove them, what would Myers be thinking about this? Did he look into it? Or the solicitor? Did they look into it? Is Myers aware of that meeting that happened on the 12th? Did he know? Did he send out one of his, I don't know, they have assistants or whatever, or the solicitor, to look into whether Dewey Evans attended when Jai Araman are giving presentations in Chester to the Welsh Paediatric Society? Did he do that, Myers? Or didn't he know about it? It takes people on the internet like Nick Ross and the anonymous person that sent me a message. They know that meeting happened. Did Lucy's defence that cost over $1 million or whatever it was? Did they bother checking into that? We don't know, do we? Anyway, I don't want to overdo it. I hope you can see I feel this is trouble is, it's got to be used. It's got to be used by the right people, i.e. Lucy's legal team, whomsoever they are now. Is it Myers and that guy, or is it somebody new? They've got to look into this. And if it's nothing, if it's a dead end, okay, fine, let it go. Let it go. The point of this is to go for every theory all at once, go for all of them. And if this one falls, that one falls, and so they fall. But we go for all of it. There's people working a lot on the medical stuff, on the scientific stuff, to blow bloody Dewey Evans's and Dr. Bowen's theories out of the water, to rip it to pieces. It's already been ripped to pieces through hundreds of articles already. But none of that evidence was used in defence. So the jury didn't see or hear any of it. And they convicted. It's a crying shame. But I'm hoping somebody wants to email me directly. I might miss the comment otherwise. It's jurgenmays@yahoo.com. It's on the channel. it's on the YouTube channel. JURGEN for no, M for mother, AYES @yahoo.com. If somebody knows the date of that email, somebody working for the National Crime Agency or somehow they know, or the assistant in the solicitor's office, or anybody that might watch this. I know it's a long shot. If you can send me a copy of that email, I want to see the date. We need to see the date to rule it out. And if it's nothing, then let it go. And the other thing is, anybody who knows who were the attendees at that meeting on the 12th of May, can we put Dr. Dewi Evans at that hotel in Chester? So that hotel in Chester is, let's have a look now. Yeah, the hotel in Chester, I should have said it. It's called the Rowton Hall Hotel in Chester. Rowton, Rowton Hall Hotel in Chester, Friday the 12th of May, 2017. Was Dewi Evans there? Did he have a nice little chat with Jairam and Gibbs at some point, or after it finished? Did they go for a drink? Go for a meal? Does Gibbs know Evans from the past? They're about the same age. Have they crossed paths in their professional life? 2 pieces of information. Date of email. Was Dewi Evans at that hotel in March? 12th of May, 2017. Cheers. Thank you. Email me. I'll go with it. If you want to remain anonymous, I'll put it out there. Because if no one's looking for this stuff, no one knows we're looking for this stuff, no one's going to give it to us, are they? They're not going to think, what if somebody's wondering if he was at that hotel? We've got to ask for it. And then when we get it, like the same as before, I'd send it to Myers, I'll send it to the solicitor. But I'm at the same time making it public, so as many people know as possible that if we can get those bits of information, it's dynamite in conjunction. But it's got to be used legally in an appeal. To put Evans on the spot and say, Evans, you were tainted from the beginning, weren't you? If that is the case. If he was there and he wrote that email before the 18th, he is tainted. Because he must have heard from some other source. What that source would that be? What only source could that be? Chester Hospital, people therein. Thank you.